you want to attend the next ARG regional event? Make sure you pre-register online at dragonballsuper-regionals.com. The next event is scheduled for the weekend of April 14th and 15th in beautiful San Jose, California. Need a place to stay for the event? Head over to super-collectibles.com and buy a ticket to the KitchenTableMeta Team House. For only $300, you get a private room for Friday and Saturday night, one-on-one coaching, dinner with the pro team, and much, much more.
Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome to the top 32 of the ARG Presents regional event here at beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina. We are here at the top 32 match with Scotch Ty on the left playing blue-green Soul Striker Goku, and Patrick Kowal on the right playing Mecha Frieza green. Should be exciting.
It's going to be really exciting. This is one of the two top teams right now. Wise Guys, only player to make it to the top 32 cut. Mm-hmm. And you got Patrick Kowal, one of many bearded players. I believe five.
I thought it was five, but actually it might be more than that. I think someone told me it was like 8.
Yeah, somebody said
crap.
8 too, and I was like, I don't know.
I
only see 5 jerseys.
Right, yeah.
So
yeah.
I only count the jerseys, to be honest. So we're just going to go with like 4. I think that was the number. 5 KTMs and 3 PPG and 4 horsemen also. I mean, we forgot to mention that the other day, but
fantastic. Well, yeah, because you're right. We did forget to mention that. That's my fault. But
they do technically have a uniform, I guess. It's all that saved one, but it's not custom.
People know. People know Anthony the Hill twins, right? They know that those guys.
One of the twins made it. I think one of their people that they brought along made it also. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they're like currently affiliated. I don't know if their team is going to be more than 4 people. I thought it was just 4 this whole time. So, but great. I love to see other teams. I didn't really see anybody else with any independent teams that I haven't seen before. At least with apparel. Maybe they have their own teams, but they haven't gone to the apparel stage.
Sure. Yeah.
So, definitely, guys, if you haven't gone to the apparel stage, I mean, contact me, contact Dusty. We'll help you out with trying to get some official apparel.
Oh, of course, we'll help you out.
Yeah,
any way we
we're
can.
trying to help as much as possible, especially teams that really want to make a name for themselves.
No, absolutely. No, actually, we're really excited. But yeah, so again, guys, Scotch on the left. If you guys aren't familiar with Scotch Ty, great person. He head judged the PPG event, so he's a judge, a streamer, a player. He does it all. Yeah, does everything. Jack of all trades, master none, as they say. Scotch doing a great job here, and
Patrick, awesome player too, very well rounded. I think this is his third top, I want to say.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He topped one, so with Buhan, topped before. I think he topped Orlando, but very solid player. Former Wise Guys, now on Bearded, and also from Florida.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
dude.
We got 2 Florida players here.
Yeah.
Florida once again flexing.
Yeah, hopefully
all the way in North Carolina.
Hopefully we get at least one non-Floridian to win an event before they go away. But if not, it's completely justified. Florida has obviously some great players. Now, Scotch playing a very cool version of Blue-Green Soul Striker Goku. It's very similar to the PPG build that you guys played as well. I like it a lot. Now, I feel like this build, we don't have deck lists. I think we were hoping to get deck lists, but we just kind of forgot to grab them, I think, was probably my fault. But there is, we have the ability to kind of, I guess, look over Scotch's deck comparison to what he played last time. And last version, he didn't play Objection. And unfortunately, Soul Striker being a great meta call, or not meta call, but a great deck in the meta, Objections are very important in the deck. It's very important in the Androids matchup, and it's very important in the Mecha Frieza matchup. So hopefully Scotch has a Objection plan for Game 2 if he doesn't have it main board. Also, Patrick running King Vegeta Surprise Attack in his main board. I like it. Very good card with Mecha Frieza, and actually a very good card in this matchup. As you can tell, a lot of these decks, guys, that made top cut are actually teching against Soul Striker. They expected to see a lot of Soul Striker. There was a lot of Soul Striker. I think the top 6 decks of the events, so 1 through 6, were all Mecha Frieza.
That's crazy.
Yeah, very crazy. And people thought Mecha Frieza was dead.
Yeah, no. It really just goes to show when you really expect a deck and you tech out against it, then that deck is usually going to be most represented in Top Cut. So if you pick Mecha Frieza because you want to beat, you want to beat the Cell Chain, the new Cell Chain that's being emerged, you want to have a response to all these big creatures that are playing, then you're going to see Mecha Frieza dominate, and that's what you saw from this event. And you got different variations of it. You don't just have one. Patrick here with a green. I know there's a mono blue in Top Cut also. And there's the hand destruction. And I don't know if Patrick's green blue is actually hand destruction or not. I haven't seen any hand destruction cards. I just see that King's Vegeta's.
Yeah, which we talked about, which is a great tech card against Soul Striker. It's a great card in the current matchups. They can also play that card for free.
I don't know about charging that card, though. Because then it really takes away from the surprise element. Yeah. But it's also mind gaming. It's like I got a King Vegeta's.
So don't attack my guys.
Yeah, exactly.
If you attack my guys, might lose one.
And I was going to say you don't know how many I'm playing, but they did have access to both players' decks. So technically it wouldn't have been a surprise from the start.
I guess that's true. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, guys, remember the top 32 players, since we were streaming, do get to see the deck list. Yes. So that's actually true. That's a good point. I actually never thought about that.
So Scotch is going to be thinking twice about attacking Patrick's monsters for the rest of the game. As you can see here, Patrick with another. Patrick has another one in hand.
Yes. So I'm sure Patrick only runs 2 at the most. You know what I mean? I can't imagine him running that many more.
No, yeah.
And so because of that, it might actually bait Scotch into attacking. Be like, oh, he has 1 in energy. There's very, very unlikely that he has a second one.
Yeah. And it's his only green up. It's not like he charged multiple greens. It's like, oh, well, actually, he has a Kale and a King.
You know what, guys? Well, I should probably do the life, huh? That's probably pretty important. Holy crap. Not. See, Lester spoiled me, is what's happened. I don't have no idea how much life Scotch is at here.
I can go count if you like.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. We'll keep track of that. I'm so sorry, guys. It's early in the morning. All right, Patrick playing the Time Patrol Trunks here. Going to be able to look at the top 2 cards on top. Choose one, put in his hand. Put the other one on top or bottom. Patrick again with a good 6 life. Man, that was nowhere near what I thought that was. So I'm glad you went over check. Thank you. Oh, there we go. Scotch setting him up for us so we can see him. Thank you, Scotch. Appreciate my man. Again, guys, if you're not familiar with Scotch, go check him out. Check him out on Twitch. Check him out, I think, on YouTube now.
Yeah, content creator. One of the, few decent content creators that we have available. Mm-hmm. So really appreciate his work.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I mean, it takes a lot of work to do this stuff, and so I'm glad to see him being here and playing events. It's just awesome. Our game is just growing so fast, man. It's so exciting to see everyone playing.
Fantastic.
But I'll tell you what, Scotch, a little bit behind on the board here.
A little bit,
a Kale and a Super Saiyan Gotenks. Oh. What's unfortunate here is that Soul Striker doesn't really have a way to remove this through Bloodlust. So
yeah, no, Bloodlust is a huge thing that makes boards like this that you see Patrick producing just that much harder, because essentially, no, you don't need 2 threads to deal with his 2 threads. You need 3 to deal with his 2.
Yeah. That's why I think it's really important. I actually think Patrick has a Cobolus in hand. I think he just didn't care. Yeah. I think it's the last card. Well, actually, yeah, it's the 3rd card from the right there.
When you think about it, the Beerus is going to take out the Kale, which you never want Kale dying, but you do have a Gotenks to answer that Beerus. So this attack going to be completely nullified by that Frieza, and that Frieza is going to be able to either threaten some life or be able to try to take down that Beerus with a trade-up. But I'll probably just assume Patrick just keep the Frieza up, use it, and then attack with the Gotenks into the Beerus, and then protect his Gotenks with the Frieza.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I'll tell you, there's a lot of things he can do, and what's crazy about Mecha Frieza is, again, like you said, they have multiple ways to remove your guys, but you have to have even more to remove theirs because of Cold Bloodlust.
Yes.
What I expect to see Soul Striker do in the future is to just tech in some Mass Saiyan. I think they're going to have to put Mass Saiyan in. That gives them a chance to actually play 3 removal in 1 turn, which might start getting away from the Cold Bloodlust. So we'll see what happens. I mean, that's the thing I love about this game. It just keeps evolving over and over and over, which is fantastic.
Yeah, no, Mass Saiyan actually, I believe, did Abella play it in the main deck? No, I think he played it in the side deck. But I know he had introduced that concept as soon as the Overrealm cards came out, and he won with the Soul Striker list. I know he was maining 3 Trunks, and I think he was like siding 2 Mass Saiyans. And then he was actually in the video, he was like, yeah, I might just main this card. This card's insane.
I know, it's really, really good. It's just another cheap removal for Soul Striker. Like you said, it kills these high threats, which are fantastic, but more importantly, it only costs 1 energy when done right. So that's very, very important. All right, Patrick takes a little time here. Somebody decides to do here. Attack with 25,000 double strike. into Beerus. Just, again, consistently removing these threats from Soul Striker. Essentially what he's trying to do here, he's trying to force Scotch to have to awaken himself. Scotch still not drawing results, which is kind of heartbreaking. I mean, that card is pretty, there's a lot of tools in the deck to try to draw that card as quickly as possible, and it's kind of uncharacteristic for them not to draw it by now. So we'll see what happens, what Scotch can do. Maybe he drew one off the top here. It looks like he maybe just put results down as energy. Yeah, I think it was.
I could have sworn. I was like, no, maybe it's a sensitive.
He just played it.
Oh, he played it? Okay.
Yeah, he played it. That's what happened. So maybe Scotch is choosing not to charge and then playing results? And here it is. We just talked about it. Mass Sand mainboard by Scotch.
Mass Sand is the truth, guys. Pick up your copies if you haven't, because it's just like Time Patrol Trunks. I mean, I think you're going to see it maybe in less quantities because the Overwhelm is just much higher costed, but I feel like the utility on it is just by far like one of the best things that we have access to.
Absolutely. I mean, the only downside is it doesn't hit blockers, but blockers not being relevant in the meta at all right now.
Not at all.
So, yeah, not really that much of a downside. We'll see what Patrick decides to do here. I think they might be talking to a judge right now about some calling that we obviously can't hear, but we'll see what happens.
It might be about the Overrealm and doing the cost, because I know it's something that you have to reveal to your opponent. You have to reveal the Overrealm card, then pay the cost, then play the card. They want it done in that specific order.
Makes sense. So you can show, hey, I'm actually able to play this card.
Yes.
You can't just like take 3 cards and throw them real quick into your board and be like, yeah, I had 5 or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So you always want to count out your graveyard and make sure that you have the right amount of warp. You want to have communication, clear communication, especially when you're playing multiple Overwhelm cards. It's not as important on the first one, but you should still get in the habit of doing it, because it's something that people are going to be playing more and more and more and more. So with people having Overwhelm cards, piles as big as their graveyard or bigger than their graveyard, you really want to make sure that communication is clear and concise.
All right, we'll see what happens here. Patrick having access to Cobalus and just deciding not to Cobalus these threats, I like it. I like that he's just like waiting until it matters to Cobalus. I mean, obviously, Mass Sand coming out and killing, a couple of his threats isn't really. And there's the Cobalus on the Gohan. We just talked about that. Saves his Gotenks, which is a powerful threat on the board.
And now it just makes Scotch dedicate so many more resources to trying to get this Gotenks off the board. Yep. And he just has to, or else he's just going to get pummeled by it. So here comes a negate from Patrick, and looks like Scotch is just going to pass his turn.
Yeah, with 1 energy open, which is actually pretty scary.
Yeah.
Passing turn with 1 energy open with 2 Sensu being already in energy. Patrick could do some damage this turn if he, gets enough threats out.
Definitely. I just don't know the significance of keeping the Gohan untapped here. I mean, it's only a 1500 attacker, so you would think that he would at least try to Patrick Kowal by just attacking and maybe just making him give up that Goku.
Right. Absolutely.
You're just leaving Patrick with a card now to just KO you, and the KO can be, it's not going to be devastating, but it's going to put pressure on Scotch. It's going to leave him without a card, and it's going to draw Patrick a card, depending on how many cards Patrick has in hand, to be honest. There. Oh, and just like I said,
there it is. KO. Get you.
KO.
What's crazy, too, is this is a critical threat, so it's one of those cards that can ping away at Scotch. He doesn't get those cards back in his hand. Also, Patrick is 1 card away from this drawing as well, so whether or not he'll, do something, well, it looks like he's not going to. He's attacking 20,000.
KO here really punishing that play from Scotch. Sometimes you just got to, use some foresight and be like, okay, what can happen? What's the worst thing that can happen?
That's the worst thing that could happen, absolutely. I feel like Patrick did a brilliant job with Cobalus here. Like, I feel like he really kind of baited Scotch into playing that turn differently because he just assumed Patrick didn't have Cobalus. Yeah. I think a lot of times people with Cobalus, they do this thing where they kind of use it as soon as they get it. Like, they just use it on the first threat they can use it. And I think Patrick really showing the advantage of strategically playing Cobalus instead of just playing on the first threat.
Now, Patrick is asking a few questions to himself right here. He's like, do I want to awaken Scotch?
Well, yeah, Scotch is already
I'm sorry. Do you want to put Scotch at below 4? Sometimes I look at below 4 and I'm like, awaken.
Well, yeah, exactly. But it's like, that's like the Piccolos where you say, like, do you want to turn on Piccolos?
You want to turn on his Piccolos. And the question and the answer to him right now is no. So we're going to see Scotch play his turn out, go tanks. You're going to see the Cold Bloodlust from Patrick. He thought it was worth it there. The leader just makes go tanks a 1 energy 25 strike double striker. Like, that's not what you want here. So,
it's pretty good.
And it replaces itself. So he's going to take this opportunity now that Scotch is low on resources to not let him recoup any of those resources for free. So he's going to go and put an end to that go tanks. Now Patrick's going to have a follow-up to that go tanks. Hopefully a removal spell. I think he had a removal spell.
Yeah, I mean, Patrick put himself in a good spot here because he actually has the ability to just draw an out with Kel.
Yeah.
So he used cards to defend himself, but he gets those cards right back.
And important to notice here, Scotch actually passed on trying to even threaten the Kale with his go tanks, which a lot of people were just nap due.
Right.
Because the presence of the King Vegeta.
He does have one in hand.
He does have one in hand.
Which is pretty scary.
Like, what are you going to do? Like, this is the ultimate protect the Kale deck.
Absolutely.
And you got Cold Bloodlust for auto abilities, and you got King Vegeta for attacks.
Mm-hmm. It's just so much value. It's so much value. And you're 100% right. How are you going to kill me? So 4-4 now. Patrick with 6 cards in hand. Has 3 Super Saiyan Gotinkses in hand. But unfortunately not... Oh, gosh. Scotch Snap taking that.
Yep.
That's a scary position to be in by Scotch. Now, Scotch has multiple Piccolos. So I think Patrick may not get game here. But I think he's going to try. I think he's going to play in Super Saiyan Gotenks here and attack and get some cards out of Scotch's hand again.
I mean, definitely. He also still has a leader swing, so I'd probably threaten double strike first before even trying to attack with a leader.
Absolutely.
But,
it also puts you in a situation where you might be able to Sensu Bean and play another one out and actually put 2 Super Saiyan Gotenks out.
No, yeah, Patrick at 4 is huge.
Yeah, it's huge.
Because if he has Sensu Bean, then it's literally over. Like, his Gotenks is literally free.
It's awesome. It's fantastic. All right, here we go. Untap some blue and a green. And again, this is the perfect bait for Patrick, too. It's going to put Scotch in a situation where Scotch almost has to attack into these threats, and he's just going to lose them to King Vegeta's surprise attack. So I think Scotch is going to have to play this next turn in a lot different manner. I think what he's going to have to do is actually just ignore these threats and try to go over them.
Go face.
Right. Because if he plays into these Super Saiyan Gotenks, he actually can be a bad day. All right, guys, let us know in the chat, guys, who you think is going to win. Love to hear you guys' thoughts. Also, good morning, by the way, everybody. Majin Joe, good morning,
Top of the morning.
Top of the morning to you. Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you guys so much for watching. We had, just so many of you guys watching yesterday, and it just means so much to us. And again, guys, remember, go check out Pro Play Live Games on Twitch and check out their YouTube channel. Just amazing guys, amazing content creators, amazing store. I can't say amazing enough. Literally amazing, and any other thing after it would be accurate when describing anything that has to do with Pro Play Games. Go check them out. Also, guys, go check out Scotch Ty on both Twitch and I believe YouTube now as well. Go check him out, man. Just a great guy. And there's that Sensu Bean we just talked about.
Yeah, I told you, man. Hey, Patrick's got this down. It looks like he definitely
knows what's going on.
Yeah, he built this deck to beat Soul Striker. He knows his game plan. He's executing it perfectly. And this is what we're talking about just, making your deck to beat the meta and just like knowing exactly the steps on how to do so.
And actually, no, a lot of my students are, the people that I coach. That's the first thing I'll ask them when they say, I'm going to this event and what should I play? I would just be like, what do people play there? Oh, Patrick using King Vegeta's surprise attack here. Instead of using it defensively, he's using it offensively. This Super Saiyan Gotenks is huge right now.
That's the benefit of King
30,
Vegeta.
40,
Sometimes
50,
it could just sit.
5.
It could just sit in your hand sometimes, and then before you know it, it's a 10k Senzu Bean. And
55k.
You can also hurt yourself for it. So
65k.
Did Patrick take the life for the King Vegeta as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah, that leaves him.
That's a smart play.
Leaves him enough energy to play another one after this.
Yeah, smart play. That's insane.
But anyway, like I was saying, the first thing I tell anybody that asks me what they should play is I ask them what's being played in your meta, right? Like what do you expect to see? If you have a bunch of Soul Strikers there, it's going to be a way different deck you should play. And it's great that our game has that ability because a lot of card games just like play this deck, it's the best. You know what I mean? That's like very unfun. In this meta, we actually do have a triangle that has we have decks that beat each other, and that's great.
So 60 is the number to beat for Scotch. He's going to go instantly throw those Piccolos out.
Yeah,
and
65.
That's 10, 20,
right?
Is it?
25, 30, 40, 50, 65.
Oh, sorry, 65.
It's too early in the morning to do math, to be honest with you.
10, 20, 30 from Scotch so far. 30, 40. 40 plus 15, 55, right?
It's 45. Right? 30 plus 15.
No, he's got this too.
Oh, he used that?
He summoned the Goku.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, that's my fault.
Okay.
So Scotch getting there.
10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 55, 55 plus 15.
Yep, gets there. What's crazy about this is
70.
Scotch. I think he had to. I think obviously he had to.
But now he's just gonna lose to the Mecha Frieza now. All Patrick has to do is throw like
I
one.
want to know what that last
combo.
card in Scotch's hand is.
And Patrick still has a Dodoria.
Well, there you go. Jeez. Oh, what a fast game, guys! That was super fast.
It was pretty fast.
So that was here. It's I got you. Sorry guys, I forgot to turn the halo light on, so we're gonna turn that on. It's like right under there. Oh no! All right, we're gonna. It's too bright. I think I have to turn it down just a little bit because actually it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I mean, it's actually not too bad. No, we're not too bad. Okay, we'll see what happens here.
Yo, what up, guys?
I'm gonna switch it over. So here we go. Hey guys, how's it going? Look at George over here, looking good. Changed his shirt. I
had to rip the black and yellow, black and yellow.
Yeah, black and yellow, looking great. Actually, yeah, there you go. Thank you. I actually was really worried about my car yesterday, so I just ran down to try to see if my car was towed, and I realized I forgot my suitcase up here.
And then it was locked.
So I actually didn't have any clothes, but I had to sleep in my boxers. It was pretty cool. So
it's always fun.
Yeah, it's always a good time. So I'm actually wearing the same thing I wore yesterday, unfortunately, but it's clean, I promise.
No, yeah, he smells fantastic. Oh,
I have this amazing,
Yo,
cologne,
you smell
by the way.
amazing. Yeah,
Pie
great,
Vinci,
dude.
by the way.
I'm gonna get a little bit close.
Sponsors. Absolutely, guys. So welcome, guys. Good morning. Let me guys know what you guys think is going to happen. We'll check the chat here and see what you guys think is going to win the event. Guys, having a fantastic event so far. Top 32 stacked, probably the hardest top 32 out of any regional that's currently been played.
No, 100%. And I really love it because you had so many teams show out here. You had Bearded Collectibles, you had KitchenTableMeta, you had Four Horsemen, you even had a Wise Guy slip in. I think there's a few people are commenting now on the photo that I just posted on the Dragon Ball Super community group. Apparently there's one-ofs of random little, just random teams that they formed,
that's awesome.
among friends and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
So
to see. That's how it starts, though.
Yeah, that's how it starts. And then you start getting more regional tops, and you're like, oh man, let's start performing against these big boys. So
Dusty's phone bill is going to be higher than Snoop Dogg at the Grammys. Actually, I think during that round, I just got a message that says I'm getting close to my data limit. So we actually should be okay. We should be okay.
That's pretty good.
We should be okay.
I expected that halfway through yesterday.
Me too. So I think we should be okay.
So that's actually fantastic.
So that shouldn't be too bad. Mecha Frieza Buhan needs to take this down. I agree, guys. I think Mecha Frieza Buhan's super cool.
No, fantastic.
It actually looked absurd.
And I think it's got one of the best pilots behind it. So I'm really confident in him. He's been playing it for months already. So it's just really fun. And then that whole Time Patrol Trunks made it just so much better. So, but there is a tough top 32. So I mean, you can't. I wouldn't be surprised if you got taken down before then. But PBG right now showing its least amount of players in top 32,
right.
Which goes to tell how much competition there was at this event.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, Peter wasn't playing a real deck, and a few guys audibled last minute and were like,
right.
I'm just gonna play something else.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't feel like they took the event. Maybe they were too satisfied with their past performance. I mean, they're skilled players. They're great players. I love them, obviously, but I gotta criticize them every so often.
Right. Absolutely.
You just gotta be come on, guys. I hope this was a wake up call.
You can't let them get too big ahead, right?
I hope this was a wake up call to take other things seriously. So hopefully you see something else. They're gonna be definitely cooking up something real spicy for the next set. So
I always mess these overlays up.
Me too. There's so many things that you need to catch. Once again, Dusty just doing a great job. He's a master. He has 20 different sources on this OBS. I've never seen anything so.
Was your car fine, Dusty? Yes, it was. We got there, boys.
Oh, your car was fine?
It was fine, actually.
What?
I was terrified, but yeah, we got there. I think I called that guy's bluff. I think he's like, you need to be out here by 6. I was like, we'll see about that. And I actually just forgot. As it turns out, I completely forgot. So thank you, Charlotte Convention Center, for not towing my car.
Right.
You guys are the real MVP.
Real MVPs.
Thank you so much.
Not with your Wi-Fi, but with your your card service.
Yeah. Dusty No Unlimited. I don't think so. I don't think I do. I guess I hate that, but I guess I don't. I don't know. I really don't use my cell phone data very much.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, I'm usually on Wi-Fi, especially this day and age.
Exactly. So
especially with Comcast too. Like you always have Wi-Fi. You can tether off of any Wi-Fi's. I didn't even know about that. Like if you have Comcast, you don't even have to use your data. If there's Comcast in the area, you just put in your user ID, and then you automatically connect to it, no matter if it's a locked, or whatever. Like you'll get on your own separate Wi-Fi. So
Villain Hurt. It's such a shame this game isn't that popular in my country. I do no problem. I'll tell you what, man. This game is just blowing up everywhere.
Yes,
blowing up absolutely everywhere. I mean,
it's only a matter of time. I mean, everybody's just a little bit delayed. That's all it is.
Yeah, actually, the last stream I did, on my personal stream, well, I guess it's the same channel, but I had viewers from Australia, I had viewers from Mexico, I had viewers from Germany. It's just insane, and and half, not half those countries, but I would say at least one or two of those countries don't even have the game in the country. They're just so excited for this game that they are trying to just play the game on Octagon, play the game any way they can.
Yeah, and then they have the connections to these local game stores, and then these local game stores have the connections to these distributors, and eventually it just makes its way up the ladder. It's just a matter of time. So the perseverance and the persistence of a lot of these fans is eventually going to pay off. It's just a matter of time. Everybody's behind. Even other countries don't even have our sets yet, every set that we have.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think Europe's still on set 1, as it turns out. I think they're going to get the sets a little bit quicker than we did. But yeah, I think they are still on set 1. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think they are. So it's just awesome, man. It's exciting. I can't wait. I hope that there's a Worlds event. I think it's going to be really cool to get those players in. Get to see everybody together. It's just going to be so cool. It's so cool that this game has brought so many people together. And I'll be honest with you guys, a lot of the people that I've met through this game is just insane. I met you, George, for example. You know what I mean? I mean, you.
I met you. I didn't
Scotch,
even know you existed.
Thank you. So we've met so many. We've brought so many friendships and just met so many people, and it's been so early.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. I really do love this community in this game. Much more welcoming than any others, and a lot of people are definitely spoiled by this community because not all of them are this good.
Right.
So.
Absolutely. Borkin 94, I feel everywhere else just doesn't have the same caliber of players that America does. Oh, no, absolutely. No, everybody else has great players.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they do because there's Magic. Obviously,
absolutely.
Magic is a worldwide game, and every team has their national team. So, not to take away from their skill, they're probably very excellent at this game as well.
Right,
I mean,
absolutely.
you see Justin, a very excellent at Magic. It's a very easy transition, especially for those players. And I feel like that's the most internationally marketed game.
Right, and I think
if you heard about that or you're good at that, then you're fine.
Absolutely. I mean, being able to play one game and being able to play the other, I think they translate pretty easy. But I think it's important to realize that, it's not really fair to compare different countries because they don't have the same level of events that we have here, which is coming soon.
Yeah,
it's coming soon. You guys have to just keep letting. Oh gosh, just keep being persistent. Let Bandai know what you want. You know what I mean? If you guys want more events, let you guys know. Just keep shit. It's really important. I tell this all the time on my stream. It's really, really important to show up to your local events.
Yes.
Show up to your local shops, buy product, and Bandai will take notice. I'll promise if they say, hey, in Mexico, all the events have 100-some people. Actually, Puerto Rico is a big, guys, please.
Yeah, Puerto Rico.
Actually, I'm
insane.
so sorry. No, I had a huge group
insane.
come over to me yesterday and ask me to shout out Puerto Rico. I'm so sorry I didn't yesterday. But guys, seriously, Puerto Rico, give them your love. These guys are insane. They're amazing.
They pulled more people than than our state event.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was just like, what?
Absolutely.
How'd you beat 110?
And those guys are
120.
And those guys are insane. They come to events. They top. Whenever we had, I think 2 of them topped in Orlando.
Really?
Yeah, I think 2 Puerto Ricans. I mean, they're just a fantastic group of guys. And they, like you said, I think they have 100. I think they told me their last event had 156 players in it.
Yeah, no.
And I promise you guys, Bandai is. I mean, I don't know for sure. Obviously, I don't know. But I'm saying I have an assumption that Bandai is noticing this, and we'll be there. So absolutely, guys, keep it up.
No, excellent.
It's fantastic. Thank you guys so much for all the support.
Also,
Majin Joe, the community for this game is solid. Absolutely.
I mean, there's always going to be those keyboard warriors / trolls / cancerous people, but that's every community, And I think you see it a lot less in this one.
Yeah. Card game chamber here in the Netherlands. We have set 2 and expansion sets, but officially only set 1. Oh, okay. Cool. I understand that, man. Definitely. I can't wait. I just can't wait to see this game keep growing and growing and growing. It's actually insane the amount of amount of Facebook messages I get from people from other countries just telling me like, hey man, we just started watching videos here and we learned a lot. You know, we watched the PPG videos, we watched our deck techs. It's awesome. Keep up the good work in America. Keep up the good work. And it's just like, I feel like it's just, when I started doing this stuff, I'm sure you, same way, George, just never expected that to happen.
No,
I never expected, you know, someone from Australia to message me and say, keep up the good work.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, one of my students, I talked about him yesterday, but was from Australia. And me and him literally sat there for like 30 minutes after me and him were playing, and he was just, like, he showed me a map of Australia, and was just showing me, like, where he lived, and, like, how, you know, because, like, I know nothing about Australia, but, like, it was just so cool to hear him talk about a country that I've never been to, you know what I mean? It's just, like, it's so cool that a card game made by a company in Japan is bringing, you know, people from America and Australia and Mexico and Puerto Rico and all these different places together.
Yeah,
it's just, I don't know, it's just insane.
It's fantastic, and I love it. I even have like a lot of international like customers just come into my store because we're right off like Miami International Airport. So a lot of them, as soon as they get off the plane or whatever the case is, and they visit Miami and they want to visit a card store, we're like the first ones. So they come out and they're like, oh, Dragon Ball Super, like 90% of the time. And they're like, oh. And then I'm like, oh, man, you guys play that?
Real quick, guys. I'm sorry. Real quick. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm so sorry. Someone in the chat said that Patrick combo with Frieza and put in the drop area. Can you run real quick and check that? I'm sorry, guys. That's our fault. We just got talking. I'm getting emotional over here talking about all the supporters and stuff, guys. You guys have no idea how much you guys mean to me, by the way, guys. Like, I talk about all the time. I know it might sound convoluted, but seriously, guys, it just really, really means the world to me to have the support and love that you guys give me. I honestly could not do what you guys do. Oh, guys, nice catch. Absolutely. So there it is. It's now in the battle area. Good catch, guys. Thank you for doing that. And I'm sorry, guys. I need to stop talking so much. Yeah, they did. Awesome. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I need to stop talking so much.
We saved it, boys.
Yeah. You got saved it. I had no idea.
Right,
I was too busy being emotional and talking about.
Thank you, guys. We try. I mean, sometimes we catch it, sometimes we don't.
Yeah. It's not in the morning, so we're still waking up here a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it, guys. Thank you so much. Bearded Collectibles, I was excited about hearing you guys talk about PR. What's it's PR Puerto Rico? Is that okay? I figured I didn't want to make sure I was saying where I'm from. Then clip jumped and heard talking about toxic players in every community. No. Actually, so what happened, Bearded, is we were talking about Puerto Rico. We had, I think it was 3 or 4 guys that came over and talked to me yesterday, and they asked me if I could shout out Puerto Rico. They said they always watch all of our content. They watch Bearded. They watch, PPG. They watch KitchenTableMeta, and they watch everything, and they're just so excited that this game was growing, and they wanted me to shout out Puerto Rico, and I absolutely. If you guys aren't aware, they got hit by a devastating storm.
Yeah, no.
It's been a while ago. It's been, what, like 3 months ago, maybe? Is that about right, or is that like...
Probably, yeah. I want to say like 3 or 4 months ago, yeah.
But they got hit by a devastating storm, and you know, they just rallied together and made it through that terrible event, and it's just amazing to see them come out and playing Dragon Ball and just talking about how, Dragon Ball actually helped them get through that. You know what I mean? It gave them something to do. It helped them.
All through that, we were just still shipping orders over there. It was so crazy.
It's just, that's just, I don't know, man. Anyway, let's get into the game, guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, Puerto Rico, just an amazing force in this game.
And they're so passionate about the game.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that Frieza saved by streamers. So the chat. Thank you guys once again.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much. Again, I'm sorry, guys. It's my fault. I'm early in the morning. I'm old. I'm easily distracted.
Right. So it looks like Patrick once again awakened early, and Scotch here on 4 energy. It looks like. Wanting to drop a result if he has the results. I wasn't able to peek over at his hand when I went over there, but Patrick with that Super Saiyan Gotenks and that Kale. I think that Kale is going to be drawing him a card. Yep. So he drew a card off the Kale, and you got to think that he'll be throwing down the Super Saiyan Gotenks after this, or the energy boosted, sorry, not Super Saiyan. The energy boosted Gotenks to start pitching away at Scotch's hand, but
especially once Scotch awakens or gets the 4 life, those Gotenks just become even
Super
better.
Saiyan Gotenks, okay.
Yeah.
So that one actually a little bit better in this scenario because it lets you ready energy for a Bloodlust or negate.
Exactly, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you don't actually just have to attack with it. You could just play it, have it there chilling as a threat, and then, a little bit later when you're ready to attack, you have that double strike just come into play out of nowhere. Because right now it's not a player in this game whatsoever, even though he just summoned it.
And that's one of the things I think people forget a lot about Mecha Frieza, or just yellow decks in general, is whenever they untap with Gotenks, it's a little bit scarier because they untap defensively, right?
Exactly.
Like you said, they open up Cold Bolas, they open Pressure Ball, they open Negates. Whenever Starter Goku untaps, it's not really defensively at all, right? It just gives them access to Negates, which is good, but it doesn't really give them access to anything else, right? It's like Negates and Gohans, that's it. So, yeah, it's definitely a lot scarier whenever Frieza untapped. But honestly, a little bit harder for him than untap, obviously, so.
Yeah, and because it is a little bit harder for him to untap, it's actually a lot more value for him just to, play the threats. I'll play a threat turn 4, I'll play a threat turn 5, and then maybe I'll start attacking, So it's good to spread them out. You don't have the luxury that every deck every Soul Striker deck has of being able to play 2-3 threats in one turn. So
Scotch's hand looking miserable.
Yeah.
He has an objection and a result in hand. Both those cards are dead in this situation. Luckily, he's at 6 life, so he's in a situation that's a little bit better. But it's just,
you gotta imagine, he has so many dead draws. He has more of those in the deck, and then he has boost attack Piccolos that he can draw and are going to be completely dead here. Because I don't believe Patrick has any reason to awaken Scotch here.
No, absolutely not.
I think he's just going to attack with Kale, draw a card, and take away a card from Scotch. And Scotch is not going to have any response to that. And then he's also going to take down the Beers with either a Gotenks or a leader attack by trading up. But Scotch, I don't know. I don't know if I would have attacked with that Beerus here, actually. Honestly, I don't think.
I think Scotch is just you know what? This Kel is. We saw this happen similar in, I think it was round 5 or 6, where the Kels just came in and took over the game.
Yeah.
And I think last game Kel came in and took over the game.
Yeah.
And I think Scotch is just saying, I want to get this Kel off the field. But the problem is, with Cold Ballast, Negates,
King Vegeta.
Friezas, King Vegeta, Patrick has the ability to protect this Kel pretty easily.
He has an insane amount of threats here, and having that Beerus tapped for Patrick is actually going to be great right now because he's going to be able to get in a leader swing and not affect Scotch's life, draw a card,
and then attack in with Super Saiyan Gotenks to try to kill it.
Yeah, Kale hits life, draws a card. Obviously Kale hitting first. Granted that Patrick has the proper amount of cards in hand to trigger that Kale, which it looks like he does. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in hand.
Patrick again having 2 Sensu Beans in hand.
Yeah, that sequence of he already attacked with the Kale. Okay.
Yeah, he attacked with the Kale already. But he got negated, so he still got a card from Scotch's hand and drew a card. So he's actually up a card still from that.
Definitely the correct play here by Mecha Frieza into Beerus. Beerus does not die. You're just trying to get that draw up but not give your opponent the card. And then I wouldn't be surprised if he just went with the Gotenks here and hit the Beerus, because you don't want that Beerus threatening your Kale again. Because you might have an out to it, but you want to conserve those answers. You just don't want to throw them away. So Gotenks doing his job here, getting rid of a threat, and Scotch back to a clear board, which is what you don't want to see with Soul Striker Goku.
And Patrick's hand's so defensive. He has two Kobalas, 2 Sensu Bean, a Boo, and a Gotenks.
That's just a complete nightmare. He's going to play Gotenks and pass here.
Ooh, he's actually going to attack in.
Oh, is Scotch at 6?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
But he is awakened, I think.
Then that's fine,
3,
yeah.
4, 5,
the attack here is 100% fine. I would not attack if Scotch was at 5. But he was at 6, so he's going to go down to 5 and hopefully throw away that Trunks. Yep.
Alrighty, there you go. There's the turn. Past the 5. Patrick in the command lead here. I mean, again, this deck just seems like it was almost specifically built in order to deal with Soul Striker Goku.
No, yeah, 100%. Fantastic plays by Patrick, and he knows exactly what Scotch can do and what Scotch cannot do. Hey, thanks, Majin Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, man.
Appreciate the compliment. It's hard to get compliments when I'm next to Dusty and he's showing me up with this, What was the color for
Fajay?
Fajay. This beautiful Fajay tie from Calvin and Klein's model of.
It's just Sometimes we look this good, George.
Sometimes
we look this good,
sometimes
buddy.
we don't try that hard, and it just happens. My fiance was getting mad at me last night. She's like, "Why are you looking so good? Who are you getting dressed up for?" I'm like,
Dusty.
Yeah, I'm like, Dusty. It's over.
I'm sorry.
It's so funny.
I'm sorry you had to find out this way.
I'm sorry. It was publicized to the whole world. They all saw. Okay, so we got a Bulma that's going to get Scotch a full power Trunks, which might come into play.
Yeah.
It just might.
Again,
it just might, because he's so low on threats. So
this is, for example, what we're talking about. Scotch plays out Kale, gets cold ball lusted. Now Patrick can have the ability. Oh, actually, Scotch is going to attack in with. Scotch is going to attack in with the Kale. This is interesting play by Scotch.
okay, is he attacking leader here?
No, he's not. Because
and
it's
did he
cold
draw
ball
a card?
lusted, so.
It's
cold ball lusted, right? So he's going 25K in what appears to be 25K. Goes up to 30.
I don't know if this is correct, but Scotch might be putting Patrick on. You have a bunch of defensive cards in hand, but there's a Frieza on board, so there's a 10 already. I think that's already enough to block.
I think what Scotch had to do here was not attack with Kel.
Yeah.
And then wait till next turn and then attack with Kel and start drawing cards off of it to try to get back into this game. Scotch has 2 cards in hand with a Gotenks on board. Also, Scotch doesn't know, but Patrick, I think, has another Gotenks in hand. That's going to be 2 cards he discards this turn.
No, yeah, it's going to be a miserable turn for Scotch right now. And I think Scotch's turn, I think that was just a desperation attack. I feel like he just felt like he had to attack and do something, even though the correct play was just passing.
Yeah, Scotch has no green open either, so Patrick can freely just attack this Kel into the Kel if he wanted. He could attack, his threats. We'll see. I'm not sure where that attack went. Again, the players verbally announcing them. But we'll see what happens here. Oh, it was to life. So Scott's going to take a good 4. I like that play. You're attacking your opponent with a crit. I like it.
I mean, yeah, there's arguments for the double strike first, and there's arguments for the kill. But I think it's, exactly. Sure. But I think that's fine. I don't know which one would be better in this situation. I mean, obviously, not knowing Scotch's hand, that plays better. But what if he had a boost attack Piccolo here, or 2 in hand?
Oh, sure. Uh-huh.
That would be strictly worse now.
Ooh, Scotch with Piercing Goku in hand.
Piercing Gohan.
I said Goku. I'm sorry.
And it's just, that's a bomb. And it's
might
7
be enough
energy.
to get him back in this game if he plays at the right time. Now,
if he plays
we
at the
do
right
know
time,
that Patrick has cold
double
ball, but Scotch is going to have to find a way. Never mind.
All right, that's gone.
Immediately shut down. I'm sorry.
That never happened.
I think sometimes we talked about this last night about trying to play risk versus reward.
Yeah.
And I think Scotch should have held on to that Gohan and just tried to knock his opponent to 3 life next turn.
Yeah.
And then, bait out a Cold Ballast if you can, and then just the next. I think Scotch can survive 1 more turn.
Yeah.
And then after that, just go, okay, here we go. Let's put it all on Gohan and see what you can do.
Yep. No, easily. He used that to block a Gotenks? I'm guessing. Yeah, because the Gotenks was hitting the kill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, yeah.
Scotch has 0 cards in hand, takes it,
but
goes to 3. Oh, devastating.
now he's just put in this conundrum where Gotenks just shines harder than any other card you can ever possibly imagine. Gotenks, especially great when your opponent only has a few limited resources of what to discard and what to do with his hand. So, Scotch ditching the last card in hand, even though it was a Time Patrol Trunks. And now Kale's just going to to even though he did have the
Scotch to 2.
Yeah, and Scotch can't do anything about it. And a Piccolo off. Oh, that has to hurt.
You hate to see this because this is like Patrick saying, okay, it's your turn. I'm going to pass with a blue and a yellow open. So I have multiple defensive options.
Double Kale, a Goten, and another. Oh, the big Gotenks, too. The one that hits twice really hard. Yeah,
I have 2 critical guys that draw me a card, a guy that makes you discard a card, and a double striker. It's possibly the best double striker in the game.
Zeno!
Your go. Cold Bloodluster Gohan.
And a Bloodlust here. See, I say normally never to scoop, but I feel like here it's can't fault him for it. But we're going to draw a card off the Goku here. And, yep, it's
game. Unfortunate, man. I hate to see that. But, again, nothing against Scotch there. I think it's important to remember that Scotch's deck, guys, Soul Striker Goku, being kind of the most expected deck of the format, I think. It's a deck that I think everybody, can. We're going to go to regionals. I expect to see some Soul Striker Gokus, right? And I think that obviously Patrick's deck very teched against it.
It was. He knew exactly what to expect. He knew what people were most likely going to be on, and he built his deck to make sure that he didn't lose to that. And he got enough reps against the deck that he knew what the most common plays were. And I feel like Scotch was making those common plays. Nothing against that. Obviously, that's what your deck does.
Exactly. Yep.
And if you just have the other deck's game plan down and you have access to the deck list, so you know that they're not doing anything special, then it's just a very easy match, and you're going to see Patrick win that match 100%. 2-0. No matter who he's against.
Exactly. Yeah.
Even if it was against anybody in this room, honestly, piloting that same deck, there's no sure, you can play a little bit different. Obviously, there was a few plays that Scotch could have done that you normally don't make in that matchup, but because the type of deck that Patrick's playing, you don't make them. But when you see that deck for the first time, it's not like it's a mainstream deck. That's not a mainstream deck. Like King Vegeta in the main board, all these things that's not main. That's not of the norm. So you can't expect people to play against it right on the spot in the top 32 where the jitter's already really high. The pressure's really high. You're like, oh man, I really want to get my first W and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
It's just a lot of these factors go into it, and that's what separates good players from great players. That's what we've seen.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be interesting to see how Patrick does against decks that aren't Starter Goku. He's obviously going to have to change his game plan. I'm sure he can't play it the same way either.
No, to be fair, I think most of the decks in the top cut are Mecha Frieza or Soul Striker, and there's a couple androids, but I think normally it's around that kind of cut, especially going to top 16. So it's gonna be interesting. Beard Collectibles at KitchenTableMeta. What happened to your beard? I actually shaved it. Like I always say, guys, as soon as the beard hairs start getting to my mouth somehow, now they kind of start poking you, I'm just I'm done. I have to.
That starts getting sometimes, and I just gotta trim it and just.
You're right. Yep. I have to just cut the whole thing off. I'm like, nope, can't have that. Pinned HS, by the way. Hey guys, if you're interested in daily DBS streams on Octagon, drop a follow on my channel. I've seen you post that throughout the event, man. Just if you want to, just PM me it's actually is it just your Twitch channel? If it is, man, just let us know. Talk a little bit about your channel. You don't have to sneak in and drop out the subtle, I guess, shout outs. Just talk about your channel. You're more than welcome to talk about your channel. My chat.
Plug.
Yeah, you can plug your channel all you want, my man. Just let people know.
The more content, the better, right?
Right. And honestly, pinned HS, if you want to get people to check out your channel, just be more informative. Let them know exactly what's on your channel, what times you stream, that kind of thing. So we want to get more streamers in this game as soon as possible. Absolutely. It just helps the game grow. So let us know more about your channel, man. Don't be shy.
Yeah, I do like that comparison, Soul Striker to Jund.
Yeah, I like that.
I do
too.
like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, Jund being a magic archetype that is a blue, green, red.
Gotenks is your Tarmogoyf almost.
What was it?
Gotenks is like your Tarmogoyf.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, And then what you do is you in Jund you just play out these kind of big threats, but you're also just removing their stuff in that game with spells. So you're using spells to kill their stuff, and you're letting your big guys go in.
And then you have hand discard. You have field field disruption.
Yeah, like board wipes. That's what you're talking about. Yeah. So with it's okay, man. He did good. Scotch did good. Scotch was walking by a little upset, but he did great. Played great. We talked about it.
He topped. And he played it excellently. And also Scotch actually here because he actually started he was X2 by round 4 or something, and he was just really down. He was 2-2, and he was like, this is terrible. I just feel awful. Obviously on tilt. I can't believe I'm doing by round 4 you're X2. Man, that's obviously the worst possible thing, because then you're just on a position where you got to win five in a row.
You're right, guys. I did say blue. I'm sorry. It is black, red, green. I'm sorry.
Black, red, green.
I did say blue. I'm sorry.
Blue, you scrub. Do you even play Magic?
Nope.
Man,
what is that game? I don't know about that game.
Poser. But we had a little pep talk with him, and it's all about just keeping mentally just next game. You're not really talking. You're not thinking about oh man, I gotta go 4-0. Oh man, I gotta go 3-0. Oh my god, what if this happens? What if that happens?
Right.
You just gotta sit down and just follow the game plan. Sit down, handle the business that is at hand, and worry about the rest later.
Absolutely.
That's all you can do.
Absolutely.
Take things one step at a time.
Bearded Collectibles say, hey Machado, let's chip in and get Dusty a proper beard trimmer. Oh my gosh. Right? I actually like the stubble.
I think he was talking about. He might have been also been talking about the whole picture that they did with your face and my beard on it.
Someone with
great.
Did you see someone edited those and put like Super Saiyan hair on those?
Yeah,
I was like, oh my god.
They were like first Super Saiyan, first they went Super Saiyan, and then they went
Blood
Super
Braid Elf.
Gun.
Did that card get unbanned, right?
Yes.
Blood Braid Elf? Yeah, I thought so. I was like, oh my god, that card's
that
absurd.
and Jace. So that's going to be really exciting to play. I do love Magic as well, especially Modern. I think that's usually the format to play.
I am a live or die by the sword tempo player in Magic.
Really?
Yeah, I played my favorite deck ever, which was I keep wanting to say Snapcaster, but Delver Secrets. So I played Delver when it was in Standard, and I loved it. I loved it. It was amazing. It was like one of my favorite decks ever. And then in Modern, I didn't like Delver doesn't do very well in Modern for some reason. And
sometimes.
Yeah. And so I played Fish. I played Merfolks.
Oh, okay. Merfolk is such
and it was so much fun because you have
You're
like
one of those guys.
You have like Aethervel, and you just like put these guys out that like when they come to play, they counter your stuff and they're free. It's just like so much fun.
It's just so fun.
Yeah, it is. It's super fun. So I mean, I like Blue a lot in Magic, but yeah, I mean, absolutely love Delver. I never got a chance to play. I didn't play in the format that had fairies, but I feel like I really love the fairies deck. With like Bitter Blossom and stuff, that seems amazing.
Oh yeah, I didn't get to play that either.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I play Modern a little bit. I play like the I think it's Death Shadow, because it has a lot of Overwhelm cards.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of just Delve. And in Delve and Magic is even more insane because you can actually, when it has Overwhelm 3, you only banish 3. You know, even though you have 6 or something like that. But
yep, Modern Delver Blue White is good. Yeah, when I played it, I played Blue White Delver in Standard. Again, I've never had a chance to play it in Modern, but I played it in Standard, and it had you played like obviously like Snapcaster Mage, Delver Secrets. You played Geist Estate Trap, which was my boy. That guy was awesome. Hexproof. Made an Angel when he attacked, just a fantastic card, and I mean, just love playing the deck. You had counter spells like stop them from playing stuff. It's just super tempo based deck. I loved it, and unfortunately, as soon as when that deck rotated out of Standard, they just kind of I feel like they had elves. Well, they had fairies into Cawblade, into Delver, and they just started kind of like not printing as many tempo type cards in Standard, and that's kind of why I got into Magic.
They wanted to like slow it down. Yeah, Standard
yeah.
has always been a little bit slow, unless you're really going like the mono red route. But I really like tempo decks that have other colors too. Like I don't like the PBG wall. I had to give my players some money to go get some food or water. I usually get it for them. I'm officially like the official, unofficial
father.
Water boy or father figure. You know. Oh, you need anything?
Let me help you, sweetie.
Do you need some water? Do you feel thirsty? Are you hungry?
Are you okay? Is everything okay, baby?
It's just, but So I mean, obviously, Dusty has me locked up here. I actually have some shackles to my feet.
Yeah, I won't let him.
You guys can't. You can't. So yeah, Justin just won his top 32 match, by the way. Came over here. He's like, I just need some water. So,
who do you play?
I have no idea. Actually.
Awesome.
No idea.
All right, guys, I think we're going to get out of here.
I know Marcel's playing Anthony, though.
That's awesome.
And that's funny because Anthony is just, obviously, Anthony, if you know him, he's just very...
The personality of the
personality
game.
is just so insane. But like in person, like you talk to him, he's just like the sweetest guy ever. But like online, it's just like, who are you? This is a totally different person. It's so crazy.
I'm glad you said that because actually, the first event I played at Gen Con, I met Anthony. He got first, I got third, and he came over. We talked about the deck list. We talked to him. I thought he was like the coolest guy ever. I mean, I still do. I still think Anthony's amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to say it like weird like that. But yeah,
not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. He sucks now. No, absolutely not. He's a great guy. Him, the Hill Twins, all amazing people. But anyway, so I talked to him, and then I add him on Facebook, and I go into like the Facebook group, and he's just like talking smack to everybody. He's like, next event I'm gonna wreck you nerds, and like just going off. And I was like, this is not the person I met. This is not the guy.
This must be a doppelganger. Like,
Dark Dino Master 69 Kitchen, how's Danny hyped doing? We're not sure. Actually, we wanted to get him on stream, but unfortunately, he played the same person that he played in Top Cut that didn't want to be on stream, so we weren't able to. But we'll go actually get the results. Yeah. We'll write down the results for you guys.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are still in their top 32 match, so we're probably gonna go over there and check it out.
Danny lost?
Danny lost. No.
How's everybody else? Huh?
Yeah.
Can you do me a favor?
So the hype is over, guys.
You get a picture
unfortunately,
of all of everybody who made Top Cut with their
Danny hype was out.
Stuff.
Unfortunately, honestly, I really wanted to see him at least in top 4.
John won?
Like I feel like he would have been a great.
So John beat Trey
and all of that. So, but great player nonetheless. It doesn't really take away from his skill. Like I said, sometimes it's just on the matchup that you get in top 32. It just really depends, honestly, because you saw Scotch
That's
like
for sure top
paired up
8,
against
though.
probably the worst matchup that he can probably get paired up against in top 32, just the anti-Soul Striker deck. And sometimes the matchups are in your favor, and sometimes they're not. And I don't know what Danny played, but maybe it was that case.
Yeah, Danny, from what I understand, is there a bracket we can follow? I don't know, but we'll find out. We'll definitely, if
There
not,
should be.
If not,
There should be.
a lot of times I do a challenge bracket, but if not, we'll go figure out how to do it. We'll go find
bring it
some.
up.
Yeah,
Yep.
we'll go find something.
We'll recreate it
But
if
really
we
quick,
need to.
guys, what happened with the KitchenTableMeta guys? I just got an update. Danny lost.
Okay.
John beat Trey, so KTM had to play round 1. But
Trey lost?
Yeah,
No.
Trey lost to John. John Tata playing androids, and then Sawyer won his match.
Oh, okay.
And then Claudio is currently playing, but it looks like he might be in the lead.
Okay.
But whoever wins that match, actually in top 16, 2 of our guys have to play again.
Ooh.
So we're knocking another one of our guys out again, which is
That
unfortunate.
feels like us in Richmond or Indianapolis. Like,
Yeah,
it
you
was
just
just insane.
Yeah,
It was like,
but I
what
mean,
the
it's
hell?
kind of cool because you get you guarantee to get one of your guys in the next stage.
It's great, yeah,
right?
yeah,
but it
that's
also
true.
feels terrible because
You have your numbers.
you hate knocking your guys out. But that's great. I mean, KitchenTableMeta having a great performance. Breeder having a
Fantastic.
great performance.
Everyone.
PPG having a great
I love it,
performance.
I love it.
You know, Wise guys unfortunately get knocked out. But again, Scotch doing a crazy job. I mean, I
Yeah.
can't say that enough.
I mean,
You know,
he was the
Scotch-
only one who came out here and, produced results. So, that enough in itself, just, a great job. So everybody who made it in top 32, fantastic. But this is where you're going to be facing a lot of big dogs, and not everybody can win.
Right.
So you can only have one winner, and we will find out soon. Like we said, we're going to go check out
Yeah, we're
top
gonna get some
32,
information,
check on the
take
guys,
some pictures maybe.
see what's up. Yeah, try
Right.
to get a challenge bracket, get some pictures.
Yeah, we'll definitely get some
and,
information for you guys.
We'll be back with you, right?
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for being here. We love you guys very much. Thank you again, guys, so much for the support. We cannot thank you enough. Don't know what we do without you. So, guys, thank you so much for being here. We'll see you very shortly.